Like when James testified, and they say, you see the tape that was watching, what do you think? You believe that?
The majority deal with sexual.
I see this pattern. Now she sees the pattern.
Oh, sorry.
When they actually describe when she saw herself on TV. When she says describe what you see yourself on it, now she automatically describes like a pattern. Like I'm from the street, you ain't asking for a cigarette. I know you're a cop. Don't matter. It's just how you say things. You know what I'm saying? It sounded more like the cop. It sounded like it was it sounded like some of her testimony was kind of documented by the prosecution. It was coached. It's like everybody by the prosecution. It's like
Hey, Emily.
I think she was freaking weak like me.
Are you hungover? Are you hungover? I was at a date with Saturday. Oh, there was a lot of hot guys. All of them. Climbing on the door. Are you waiting for a hood rat?
Look at Torre, you guys.
Miss Queen.
Let me get a little closer so I can get in on it. Hey, Loyal Royals. Y'all pay attention. We're getting a scoop.
They don't say, why did you get raped? What were you wearing? It's your fault that you wore that skirt. You know better than to ask that.
Agnifila said that was the oldest trick in the book.
In 2025,
Yeah, you're not going to discredit
that when somebody gets raped, you don't say, why did you wear that?
Yeah.
That was your fault. That's what you're doing. You're saying, what is, you got sex trafficked and
Now, let's just keep it a book. We know Cassie just told that lie because her man was on the phone. Trust me, that's what happened. That's what happens.
I don't know nothing.
We got Jay Con getting in on the action. Who is this?
And that's the reality.
on a daily basis. He started with her when she was 19. She had never had
No, she was 21 on her birthday. It was 21 on her birthday when she first had messed around with him on the yacht. Remember? Everybody keeps saying 19. She was Ryan Leslie. Diddy at 21 on her birthday in Miami, the yacht, when they made the fake flyer.
Right here.
I'll be here.
So everybody's trying to figure out if he's going to be found. I didn't wake up.
All right. Well, hey, Jay, how you doing? All right. Good commentary. All right. Let me get it back to me. All right, Lawyer Russell, you all heard it. People out here, we have various opinions. Okay, Torre's out here caping for the prosecution. Some people are agreeing and some are not. Bottom line is, at the end of the day, we don't know how this thing is going to go. Okay? We don't know how this is going to go. Okay, Queen Sam said put out nothing but the facts. Exactly. So listen, let me tell you guys what just happened. So while we're in there and they're charging the jury and they're giving them the instructions, right? So the prosecution starts complaining and basically says that they didn't like the fact that one of the text messages where Cassie was talking about, oh, I can't wait, I'm so horny, and all of this. And they said that text message basically had a subject or a subject line on it, and they didn't think it was right that it had a subject line or whatever. They were complaining about that text message. They basically didn't want it used. So anyway, I thought that was interesting because we've already heard it. Elizabeth said, excellent journalism, Queen. Thank you. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. So now it's just time for us to wait it out. We're going to stay close in the area because we don't know if they're going to come back with a verdict today. I'm not expecting them to come back today. Maybe tomorrow, but you never know. So we're going to stay in the area. We're all gonna go get something to eat and just hang around, you know, in the area or whatever, to see what happens.
And then
I heard the RICO was dropped. Is that true? No, the RICO was not dropped. The RICO was not dropped, but listening to the judge's instructions, it does not sound like they're going to be able to get him on most of those charges. Now, that's just my opinion. Come over here, Sherlon. Come over and tell me what you think about the instructions that the judge gave.
Hi everyone. So the instructions were very thorough today. I must say that for me personally, I think it's going to be a hung jury. I am not
Talk
biased.
a little bit louder. You got something.
They can hear me.
James, come
Can you
on.
all hear me clearly? Please let me know if you all hear me clearly.
Me and you on the same side. Go ahead. Keep-
Yeah. So basically, what I
Tell me what
found
you
is
think
that
about
the instructions was very thorough. It was
And
easy
then
for them.
shout out-
Thank you.
shout out
Okay,
to,
yes. It was very easy for them to understand. But one thing I will say is that I think it's gonna go. It's gonna be a difficult thing where it could end up being a hung jury. But the RICO charges are not dropped. Till this day, it's still there.
If you're on the jury, what do you vote? If I'm on the jury, y'all want me to tell the truth?
Who asked you?
I'm gonna have to say not guilty. The prosecution didn't prove
Oh,
the case
thank
beyond a
you.
reasonable doubt, and the defense gave excellent, you know, cross-examinations. They caused reasonable doubt.
Yes, and then one thing as well too, everyone was discussing about the job that the defense did. Everybody loved the structure that they took and the way how they were able to like just bring the whole story home, especially especially for the jury to understand. So we're just waiting on Queen. Thank you.
I don't even, I can't even discuss the case with anybody.
That's not actually here. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm not even wasting my breath because you're going off of some third-hand,
A few tweets
fourth-hand
out of context.
information or some biased-ass mainstream media when I'm in the courtroom hearing the actual testimony.
That's right.
I'm feeling the energy in the courtroom.
Observing the body
I'm
language.
observing the body language.
This
of
is
the
Sean
people.
G, you guys. Podcast with Soul.
Witnesses. I'm hearing the inflection in the voice of the U.S. attorneys. I'm hearing the inflection in the voice of the defense. I'm watching the witnesses shrink when they get busted in a lie. And if you're not here to see that, you can't even begin to discuss the case with me. You can't even talk to me
They
about
try
it.
to act like they know more than us, and they're not here.
Well, they already got
And they already have their bias.
they got their minds made up off of false information like I
Because
had.
there's YouTubers that are spreading false information.
Like I
Yeah.
had.
People paint
We won't call
narratives.
no names, but
Listen, I thought Diddy, I thought he was gay, right? I thought he had done something with little people.
I thought he was a okay.
I thought he was, I came here to hear the gay stories. And after Cassie testified for 3 days, I was watching her, and she said that the Esteveo asked her at the end of the cross-examination, "Did you love Sean?" And she said, "Yes, I did." "Do you hate Sean now?" She says, "No, I don't." She says, "Do you still love Sean?" And she was ready to jump and answer and say, "Yeah," but her husband was there and Puff was there, and she caught herself and said, "I love our past." And when she said that, I said, "Yo, man, they've been lying, man. They've been lying about this girl," and it just made me come back. And every day I'm thinking, because remember they were saying in the beginning, what's your name?
Queen Amadaya.
Queen Amadai. Remember they were saying in the beginning, yo, this is just the first week. The prosecution, they not gonna lay it all out.
Yeah, they kept saying there was something big coming.
They got
It
something
got
big.
worse.
And
It got worse.
it never
Cassie was the
came.
strongest witness.
It never came. And then that's when I became even more vociferous and more adamant about the position that I took. That then he didn't do what they said he did, man.
Now tell us about how Mrs. Comey over-exaggerated, embellished, or lied, however you want to call it, when she did rebuttal on Friday. Remember when she said, "Oh, he stomped her in the face for 10 minutes."
I didn't
When-
see the rebuttal. I wasn't here
You
for
didn't
the
see that?
rebuttal. I didn't need to be here because Mark Agnifilo, it was over. After he went, what U.S. Attorney Slavic had said on Thursday didn't even matter. I didn't remember nothing she said.
Yeah, we were asleep.
And after I mean, Mark was in the courtroom. He was over here. The mic was down. And he was a New Yorker talking to other New Yorkers on the jury as a New Yorker. Everybody in the overflow was packed. Reporters, public, everybody was sitting on the edge of the bench. And I'm normally a note taker. I didn't take no notes because
You were engaged.
I'm watching him. I said, I can't miss nothing. And so I hope if I was on the jury, I would walk in there and say, look, man, I don't need no coffee. I don't need no bagels. It's not guilty, and it ain't nothing nobody can say to change my mind. So just go on out there and tell the judge, we're not going to be able to come to no agreement unless it's not guilty.
It's gonna be a hung jury.
I think it's gonna be a hung jury
We're all
too.
thinking it's hung.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. Okay, so you guys, listen, you heard it right here from Sean G. Podcast with Soul. Make sure you follow him. Okay, excellent commentary. Also, thank you, Leos Azir, for the contribution to the channel. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Now, you said, who have they asked?
This has been a race.
You said, who have they asked to be in charge of the jury? We don't know yet. They took them to the back. They had not decided on the foreman yet. So, not really sure about that. But I'm sure that's coming. Listen.
His is actually worse.
We are really tired. We got here really early this morning. I am still sleeping. Thank you, Nicole, for your contribution to the channel, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, listen, I am so tired. I'm burnt out. My eyes are just bloodshot.
That's worse.
I really was up. At what time did I get up this morning? I think I got here at like 3 o'clock.
Yeah, tree on the dot.
I think I got here at like 3 o'clock this morning, okay? Reggie said you look great, Queen. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you.
Good colors.
And so Emily knows everything, and she literally does. Emily, tell us what you think.
I think it's gonna be a hung jury.
You think so?
Hung, not like
Have you heard anything from Kanye?
I heard he's here, but that's I think that's a rumor. They said he's coming today. I don't. The paparazzi were talking about it this morning. But
What about Fahim Muhammad? Did you see him up there?
What?
Girl, he is
Yeah.
buff.
Even he did that, we were there.
He's up there with the family, waiting for the verdict, I guess.
Yeah, even on Friday.
He was here Friday, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right there.
Yep.
Wait, I was there Friday. Which one was he in front of us?
He's the buff one. He's like the size of Michael B. Jordan. Not very tall, maybe like 5'9" or 10.
You know who else is on Diddy's side?
Who?
KK. That's what I was told.
Oh, yeah, I heard that too on Friday.
That's why the prosecution.
That's why they dn't call her. KK said she ain't having it.
KK's loyal to Diddy.
Yeah.
I mean, she was making, he found out $600,000 a year. She was his right-hand reader. She doesn't believe any of this. And that's why the prosecution is not calling her, but if he gets convicted, they'll pull the case around her as a co-conspirator.
That's what they'll likely try to do.
Everyone's like, where's KK?
I know, that's
And they go,
crazy.
it's not that they can't find her, it's that if
She
goes
said
up
she
on
wasn't
the stand,
coming up there.
She's gonna talk shit about the witnesses. and
Exactly.
then they're not gonna
Exactly.
So they were probably, so she took a risk, because if they get him, she's gonna go down.
Yeah.
So she took a risk being loyal for Diddy.
Yeah, she really did. Thanks, Emily.
Thank you.
Okay, so listen, guys, you all heard it here first. At the end of the day, listen, KK wasn't trying to testify. She's loyal to Diddy. We heard it all on Friday. And I wasn't really shocked, but she said she was his right-hand woman. And at the end of the day, she knows where all the bones are buried. And she knows about some of those witnesses who were not telling the complete truth. Okay, she could have really just messed up their whole case. So why would they call her? That was in their best interest not to. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to go grab some lunch. You all let me know what you think in the comments. I'm waiting. Sun shining so I can barely see if I missed anything. Okay, so listen. I love you all to life. Let me tell you all something. This is going to be a very interesting day. I don't think we're going to get a verdict today, though, guys. I think it's probably, thank you, Panther Strike, said lovely as usual, Queen. Thank you, beloved. Listen, I think that it's probably not going to be a verdict until maybe tomorrow or Wednesday. Hopefully tomorrow. I know they don't want to go past the 4th of July. Okay, it's gonna be before then. That's right, Reggie said it's getting close. So listen, like I told you all, it is so much more different when you're literally here inside the courtroom. You see the facial expressions of the jurors. You get to see how, you know, the prosecution and the defense are presenting their cases in real time. You get to see their demeanors and everything. And I'm telling you all, when Mark Agnifilo gave that closing argument, he really did an excellent job. Now, I know some people don't want to hear that, but you got to give credit where it's due. Okay, if I'm just being honest, he did his thing. And you know, that's what makes him such a good trial attorney at the end of the day. So, but I do believe that the prosecution is just a little bit worried. That's why they were complaining about those text messages. Okay? That's why they're complaining about those text messages. So we'll see how it all pans out. You must absolutely give credit where it's due. Absolutely. Because here's the thing. Listen. The prosecution during their closing argument on Thursday, like I told you guys, they did hit on some very good points. But the bottom line is it fell short because it was lackluster. It was boring. It was mundane. She spoke in a monotone voice. She kept showing us the same exhibits everybody had already seen, and it was boring people, and it was also boring the jury. But then when Mark Agnifilo got up there and he was saying it off the top. The lady Slavic was reading notes. She's standing in front of the jury, looking at them, reading her notes. That's boring. Mark Agnifilo got up there. He didn't have any notes. He had on a microphone. He's moving over here. He's moving over there. He's just saying all this stuff. He's dropping the facts. He's calling out lies. And then that whole thing about Cassie saying that Diddy raped her, and then that August or that October she had relations with him again after she claimed he raped her. Agnifilo said that's the oldest trick in the book. That's what he said. He said that's the oldest trick in the book. Reggie said oversaturated closing arguments. Yes, they were trying so much to prove their points. They kept showing us the same exhibits over and over and over because I guess they wanted to use that method or strategy to drive their points home. But the bottom line is, like I told you guys before, when you show something too much, you say the same thing too much, and just keep showing the same old things, it really loses the effect. And then now you're starting to bore people, and nobody wants to hear it. So here comes a Diddy fan coming down here. I'm going to see what she has to say. This is the lady that was throwing Diddy the hearts, okay? This is the lady that was throwing Diddy the hearts. I'm going to have her come on down here because somebody was like, Queen, we know Diddy threw you a heart. Did you throw him a heart back? And I said, no. They said some black lady threw him a heart back. I said, honey, that was her. Come on down here, beloved Diddy fan. I want you to get on my live and tell them how much you love Diddy and how you was throwing Diddy those hearts and you want Diddy out of there so he can go home. This is the culprit right here.
Come home to me, Diddy. I love baby oil.
She said she loves baby oil. Did y'all hear that? I mean, it's all nefarious. I just had to get that cleared up.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, beloved. I just had to get that cleared up. Somebody said you're auditioning for a freak off.
Yes, I am, ma'am.
She said yes. Okay, so let me tell y'all, I had to definitely get that cleared up because everybody knew that Diddy threw me those heart symbols. And then they was like, Queen, they said Diddy was throwing some lady the heart symbols. We know it was you. And they said the lady threw it back. I'm like, nah, honey, that was not me, okay? So anyway, listen, like I said, and Fahim Muhammad, you know, he's really buff. I see why he was the chief of security, isn't he buff? He's like the size of Michael B. Jordan. Look at her talking about he's fine. Girl, sit down somewhere. He's about the size of Michael B. Jordan, though. He's really buff. I see why he was the head of security. He looks very serious, very stern. He's sitting on the same row as the family, like 2 rows ahead of me. And all the kids are there again. Quincy, Justin, King Combs, and then the daughters, of course, are there. And I believe Sarah Chapman, the mother of Chance, Sarah's there. Misa isn't here today, at least not yet. So, like I said, we're going to go get something to eat, you guys. I will be back later before we leave to let you all know what's going on, okay? If we don't hear anything today, hopefully we'll hear it tomorrow. I love you all to life. Thanks for all the super chat donations and cash apps. I appreciate you guys, okay? Moderators, if you see any trolls, make sure you get rid of them, okay? So that all been said, each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives.